Before the lights, before the fame, before the millions chanting his name, there was just a kid with a dream and $7 in his pocket. This is not a fairy tale. It's a story forged in sweat, pain, and relentless perseverance. Dwayne Douglas Johnson wasn't born a superstar. He was born into struggle, into a life of constant change, of broken dreams, of starting over again and again. And yet, through every failure, every fall, he kept getting back up. He failed at football. He was booed out of wrestling arenas. Hollywood didn't take him seriously. But instead of breaking, he built. Instead of quitting, he transformed. He became The Rock. A name that once belonged to a character now stands as a symbol of grit, of hustle, of heart. From wrestling rings to box office glory, from empty pockets to billion-dollar brands, this isn't just the story of a man. It's the story of a mindset, of a mission, of a legend in the making. This is how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson became one of the most beloved, bankable, and bulletproof icons on the planet. And it all started with nothing except belief. Let's dive into the journey of the man who redefined success, one eyebrow raise at a time. Born to wrestle. Dwayne Douglas Johnson was born on May 2, 1972 in Hayward, California. Wrestling ran deep in his blood. His father, Rocky Johnson, was a WWE pioneer. His grandfather, Peter Maivia, was a legend in the Samoan wrestling world. But life wasn't always glamorous. As a kid, Dwayne moved around constantly from New Zealand to Hawaii to Pennsylvania. His family struggled financially. At one point, they were evicted from their apartment. That moment, watching his mom cry as their car was repossessed, burned into his brain forever. It lit a fire that never went out. From trouble to the turf, Dwayne's teenage years were rocky. He got arrested multiple times for fighting, theft, and fraud. By 17, he already looked like a grown man, but inside, he was lost. Then came football. The game gave him discipline, focus, a sense of purpose. He earned a scholarship to the University of Miami, where he played defensive tackle for one of the top teams in the country. He even won a national championship in 1991. He had dreams of going pro, but fate had other plans. Dreams crushed. After college, Dwayne went undrafted by the NFL. Still determined, he signed with the Calgary Stampeders in the Canadian Football League. But it didn't last long. He was cut from the team and sent home. No job, no direction. He had $7 to his name. That's when reality hit. Hard. But The Rock would later say, "Sometimes the best things in life come from the moments that feel like the worst." Welcome to the ring. With football behind him, Dwayne turned to the one thing that was in his DNA: wrestling. He trained under his father and debuted in the WWE, then WWF. In 1996 as Rocky Maivia, fans hated it. They booed him out of arenas, chanted, "Die, Rocky, die." But instead of quitting, he reinvented himself. He embraced the hate, dropped the cheesy persona, and became The Rock. Cocky, charismatic, electrifying. And the crowd, they loved it. The People's Champ. By the late 90s, The Rock had become the face of WWE's Attitude Era. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a showman. Microphone in hand, eyebrow raised, delivering catchphrases that fans screamed in unison. "If you smell what The Rock is cooking." He feuded with icons like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, and The Undertaker. He won championship after championship. He became the People's Champion. But The Rock had bigger dreams than just suplexes and SmackDown. Lights, camera, action. In 2001, The Rock took his first big Hollywood role in The Mummy Returns. It was a small part, but he lit up the screen. Soon after, he starred in The Scorpion King, his first lead role, and it earned over $165 million worldwide. The transition wasn't easy. Wrestlers rarely made it big in Hollywood. But Dwayne wasn't just any wrestler. He studied, trained, took on every role he could: comedy, action, even family films like Tooth Fairy. And gradually, he won over critics, studios, and audiences alike. The franchise savior. By the 2010s, Dwayne Johnson was no longer just trying to be an actor. He was a box office juggernaut. He joined the Fast and Furious franchise in 2011's Fast 5, injecting new life and massive biceps into the series. The movie made over $600 million, and The Rock became known as franchise Viagra. He starred in blockbusters like San Andreas, Jumanji, Rampage, Hobbs and Shaw, and even voiced the demigod Maui in Disney's Moana. Kids loved him, adults respected him, studios banked on him. He was unstoppable. The brand of The Rock. But Dwayne wasn't just acting. He was building. In 2012, he launched $7 Productions, named after the exact amount he had when he hit rock bottom. The company produced films, TV shows, and documentaries, all with Dwayne's signature grit and inspiration. He partnered with Under Armour to launch Project Rock, a top-selling fitness brand. He released his own energy drink, ZOA. He even bought the XFL, a professional football league, with business partners including his ex-wife Dany Garcia. He was becoming more than a star. He was becoming a brand empire. The work ethic. So what fuels The Rock? Simple, discipline. He wakes up at 4 a.m. to train, eats 7 meals a day, works like he's still broke. He often says, be the hardest worker in the room. And it's not just a motto, it's how he lives. Whether on set, in the gym, or in the boardroom, The Rock shows up early, focused, and ready to crush. People don't just admire his muscles. They admire his mindset. The family man. Behind the scenes, Dwayne Johnson is all about family. He has 3 daughters and he often shares heartfelt moments with them on social media. His relationship with his mom, Ada Johnson, is especially close. He credits her for his emotional strength. And though he and his first wife, Dany Garcia, divorced, they remain business partners and co-parents. That's rare. That's respect. Dwayne knows what it means to lose stability. So now he builds it brick by brick for the people he loves. More than muscles. Dwayne has used his platform for more than just movie promos. He's spoken out about mental health, depression, and the importance of asking for help. He's donated millions to children's hospitals, disaster relief efforts, and scholarship programs. In 2020, fans even called for him to run for president. He responded with humility but didn't rule it out. Because when The Rock says anything is possible, he means it. Legacy mode. So what's next for The Rock? He's already one of the highest paid actors in the world. A cultural icon. A businessman. A father. But he's not slowing down. He continues to produce films, expand his brand, and push boundaries. He's also mentoring young talent, passing the torch while still carrying his own. His story isn't just about fame. It's about grit. About showing up. About turning pain into power. What do you do when the world counts you out? When your dreams crumble, when you've got nowhere to go and only $7 in your pocket? If you're Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you grind. You bet on yourself. You put in the work. You rise again and again and again. Because for The Rock, success was never handed to him. He chased it, wrestled with it, bled for it. He turned rejection into red carpets, criticism into catchphrases, and heartbreak into horsepower. But even now, with blockbuster movies, global businesses, and millions of fans, he doesn't slow down. Why? Because the real victory isn't the fame. It's the discipline, the early mornings, the quiet struggles, the quiet victories. He built a life not just for himself, but to inspire others. To show every kid who's been broke, lost, or laughed at that it's possible. That with the right mindset and unstoppable drive, you can go from rock bottom to global icon. So when life hits hard to channel your inner rock, show up, work harder, stay kind, stay relentless. Because if Dwayne Johnson could rise from $7 to superstardom, then maybe, just maybe, your story's only just beginning. Thank you for watching. If this inspired you, drop a like, subscribe for more powerful stories, and remember, it's not about where you start. It's about how you rise. Smell what you are cooking and go cook it up with passion. Stay driven. Stay humble. Stay legendary.